This is Get Off My Lawn Live. Join us as we talk trending topics, world and local issues, and the conversations that we need to talk about as people. Get Off My Lawn Live is a Nighthawk Network presentation. Good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy Big E in the building. Eric Buckner, Get Off My Lawn Live, preview edition. We are here. How's everybody doing this Sunday? I know a lot of you will probably not catch this live because you are out and about enjoying the sunshine. Starting to get a little warmer out there. So, of course, sunshine fever is starting to catch us all. And I know that sun be calling you. I went and got a little walk in today myself. It's good to get some of that fresh air. So I completely understand that. Before we get started, I see we have a comment. Big Easy, go blue. That means that must be Coach V. What's going on, Coach V? Go blue, absolutely. They're looking good. We definitely going to talk about that Wednesday when we do Game Time Audible with, of course, my esteemed co-host, Mr. Hugh Lee. We're going to talk about championship weekend in the NCAA. Getting ready for March Madness. We also going to talk about some All-Star game and get into a little baseball, a little football. You know how we do on the show. But actually, this preview, we, of course, will talk about what's going on Tuesday. Now, Tuesday, I have a special treat for you guys. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, you guys will as well, as I will have a couple podcasters who are part of the Nighthawk Network. These young ladies have been doing their thing for a minute now, and I am looking forward to bringing them to you live and direct. They normally do an audio podcast, but because I have graciously asked and they have graciously chose to do so, I will have them on the show Tuesday. They are the ladies of the Girl Stop podcast. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the Nighthawk Network, you have heard several of their podcasts on our airways, listener ways, whatever you want to call them. But for those of you who are not, let me show you the promo and we'll talk about it when we get back. Hi, this is Eric Buckner, host of Get Off My Lawn Live. Please join us March 9th as I have as my special guests the ladies of the Girl Stop podcast. Please join us. Get Off My Lawn Live is a Nighthawk Network presentation. All right, we are back. And as you see, those are the two young ladies I speak of. One, Elena Miller, also known as my cousin. What's going on, cousin? Shout out to you if you're watching at the moment. And, of course, her girl, Letitia Williams Howard. Both of those two young ladies will be my special guests on the show this Tuesday. We will talk the usual tender topics, but we'll get to know them, talk about the podcast, how it came to be, and some of the stuff they got going on their end. So I'm looking forward to having that discussion with you all. Meanwhile, as you have seen, those of you who are members of the Nighthawk Network, we have not been having as many shows this particular week. You know, keep in mind, the network, we are a collective. We all have separate projects and things that we're working on. So as time permits and comes, there'll be times where some of us will not broadcast as much, or some of us will choose to do other things with our time. Remember, none of us at the moment are being paid significant amounts of money for our efforts. So because of that, we are generally doing this when we have the free time to do so. So if we do not have that free time, then sometimes we're not able to do so, unfortunately. But nonetheless, keep that in mind that we are doing what we can to help educate and bring these issues out to you. But we're also trying to live our own separate lives as well. So have that in mind. And I say that, you know, when we don't have as many shows, use that time to get caught up and gain some understanding as to what's going on in terms of the rest of the network. You know, catch up on some of the past shows and whatnot. They are available to you, of course, on the Get Off My Lawn information page if you have access to that. If not, all you gotta do is hit me up, Eric Buckner, and we can make that happen for you. Also, you can find the show on YouTube. We're trying to work on getting other streams for the platform so that you'll be able to find them in those particular places as well as time goes on. For those of you who are not familiar, this is actually your first time. Hi, I'm Eric Buckner, COO of the Nighthawk Network. I am one of several podcasters on my network that is trying to do what we need to do in order to give our people, the people that we call the village, a little education in regards to what's going on in the world. You know, mainstream media doesn't always address some of the things that we as people, particularly people of color, people who are minorities, need to have discussed. So we are using this show and the others as an outlet to have those discussions and platforms to have those types of information go to you. So I'm glad for those of you who are checking out the show and have been following the network and have become a member and are giving your support and your feedback. We appreciate you very much. For those of you who have seen our shows or will see future shows and want to comment, there are a few ways you can do that. If you're looking on YouTube, of course, you can comment in the YouTube comments that is available to you. Also, you may comment by sending messages to my Eric Buckner Facebook Messenger or any of the other hosts that you know that have messenger pages. And then there are also other ways you can get in touch with us, in particular this one here. Give me a second as I scroll down to it there. Standing by. That right there, that is the email for the Nighthawk Network. It is nighthnetwork313@gmail.com. That's nighthnetwork313@gmail.com. You can use that as well to give any type of information that you have in regards to what's been said, to comment, to give feedback. And also for those of you who are interested in perhaps doing your own podcast or have some information or ideas that you think we should discuss on the show, we want you to use that particular email as well for that also. So that being said, before I'm going to have a quick little discussion with you guys today on something that's on my mind. Keep in mind, yesterday, as we know, the Senate has passed their version of the COVID-19 relief bill that President Biden has set out in the beginning of his administration. Now, of course, for those of you who care for real, that only means that that's one part of the process, and we got one more to go. As the House has to approve the Senate's version of the bill, and then it has to go to the president's desk to be signed. All that, however, is expected to be done within the next 5 to 7 days. Now, what happens then is what I'm concerned about. Keep in mind, I find it real interesting that those of you that have no real interest in politics suddenly are very interested in what's going on with the Senate in regards to the COVID relief bill. Some of y'all that I've seen not post not one political thing, not even when people was voting or none of that. All of a sudden, you've taken a great interest and you made sure that you shared that the Senate approved the bill and help is on the way. The stimmy, as y'all are calling it. Y'all looking forward to that. So, yeah, the main thing that everybody's going to focus on, obviously, is that we're supposed to get the $1,400 stimulus checks to go along with everything else that's in that $1.9 trillion bill. That is the main focus. Not to mention for some of you who are looking forward not only to having that money, but also your tax money as well. So let me, based on what I feel, have a quick discussion with you. Before I do that, though, let me put the following precursor into this before I have that discussion. Stand by.
The views and opinions expressed here on Get Off My Lawn Live are those of the host or his guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the Nighthawk Network or its associates. Viewer and listening discretion is advised.
All right. You see that? So that being said, my opinions, here they go. People, yes, some of y'all, I do realize y'all about to come into a whole bunch of cash. Not even like what happened last year, because you know the way the tax thing went on, and then the pandemic and the stimulus, it all kind of went nilly-willy all at the same time. You weren't quite prepared. This time, you are prepared. Keep in mind, some of you, particularly those of you who have children, you are looking to get back a significant amount of money from the federal government in regards to that, in addition to money from the stimulus. Because remember, there's going to be a $1,400 payout, not only for you yourself in your household, but for your significant other, if you so have one, and all the children that you have. $1,400 a piece for you all. For some families, family of four, for example, you're looking at $5,600 of stimulus money in addition to whatever you're getting in state and federal income tax refund. And all that money is going to come relatively around the same time. You are looking at not generational wealth money, mind you, but a significant amount. We're talking $9, $10, $12, $14,000 in cases of some of you guys, depending on your dependents and household situations and whatnot. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money, okay? And the thing is this, we have seen what has transpired during this pandemic, okay? We have seen that during this whole scenario, lives have been ruined. Businesses have been lost. Lives have been lost. People have gone from being in a pretty comfortable place to doing not so well, all in a matter of a couple months or so. So now that it starts to look like we're trying to find our way out of this thing, and you are allotted this opportunity, please try not to squander it. No, it's very hard for me to sit here and tell you you should do this with your money. Because I know when that money comes, I'm not going to spend every last dime on something that is of vital importance, no matter what. I'm not going to sit here and tell that lie. Anybody who tells you that, they probably are not going to do so either. There's probably a very few that will take every last dime of that money and invest it in something that they absolutely positively need. Let's be honest and true about that, okay? But in the same token, folks, you will not be happy with yourself if you take those fives and tens of thousands of dollars and invest them in foolish things that is not going to benefit you long term. It is just not a wise thing to do. Period. So yeah, as I go to Walmart to do my grocery shopping and whatnot, and I see them putting out all the big ticket items, and y'all know the main ones. When we get to what I call tax baller season, you know what they usually will out. It's the usual stuff, the furniture, the game systems, and of course, the most favorite of all, the TVs. People, understand something. If you are already in a household with multiple television sets and all of them work sufficiently to where you can actually view them and look at them, do you really need an additional television set? Particularly one, oh yeah, don't forget about the cards. Absolutely. Now that's a whole nother story though, Miss Pat. We're gonna go there. Do you really need that extra television set? Is it that the new models are doing so much entirely different things that because you have that television set that you may have bought maybe a year or two ago with other tax money, that is necessary to replace that set with that set and do what with the other one? If you right now are in a household and you have multiple TVs that's put up because you upgraded and you didn't want to throw them out, what sense does that make? Really? Now, if you don't have any television set at all and you need one and you get one, I ain't mad at you. Do your thing. If you got a little small TV and your eyes is going bad and what have you, so you need a bigger one because you need to be able to see, I get that too. If you basically have somebody move in and everybody in the house has a TV but them and you get one, okay, all that makes sense. But in the end, if you're just upgrading for the sake of upgrading, just so you can say you upgraded, just so you could go on the gram or on the book or wherever and be like, look, I got this. We balling, we balling. That's not a good dude. That is not a good dude. If in the end you take some of that money and you buy all these expensive purses and you know all the ticket items that you don't necessarily mean, you just buy them to make you feel better, to make you feel like, okay, here's something with my money. All right. Think about how often you may use that item. If you got $1,000 purse and you take that boy here, there, and everywhere and get your $1,000 worth, can't be mad at that. But if you just got one just so you can stunt when you go to the club or go out and about on town every now and then, and outside of that boy sits on the shelf somewhere, and then 2 years from now, you ain't even thinking about it because you done went and bought 2 or 3 other ones, with the next year's tax money or stimulus or what have you, bad purchase, y'all. Bad purchase. Now, another thing that I know a lot of you will probably look to do when y'all get that doggone stimulus and tax money, y'all gonna be ready to be up and out. Oh yeah, we going on a trip. Last year this time we was locked down. It's warm now. I'm not doing this like we did last year. Blah 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 blah. I wouldn't do that. I myself wouldn't do that. Okay, these are my opinions. I'm just letting you know. I would not do that. This is not the time to forget all that we have gone through, and just because we got a few extra dollars in our pocket, decide to go all willy-nilly and go here, there, and everywhere. This is not a good idea, okay? This is not wise, in my personal opinion. Think about it. Yes, I understand the tickets cheap as crap right now. You can go places that you couldn't go for like under $100 here and back. That you can go get hotel rooms or whatnot. And it's like dirt cheap and all of that. I understand that is the case, primarily because a lot of these places are trying to recoup losses from last year, and they're just trying to get you to partake the best way they know how. Do understand though that as the pandemic starts to end out and these places are wanting to get back in the mix, they're not about to just go and up all the prices all together again. That'd be stupid. Think about it. It's gonna be that one or two companies that look at it like, okay, well, we need to get back on our feet, but we gotta be smart about it. Let's go ahead and up the prices just a little bit so people will come in, or let's just lower them a little bit and hopefully we get more volume so that way we can get back on that way. So those companies that's just going to want to jack up the prices to make up for what they lost in 2020, them companies not going to make out as good unless, of course, you got the type of companies where you can eat losses like that, the Walmarts, the Amazons, and whatnot of the world. They can afford to do that. So all this money that you feel like you got to spend now because everything is dirt cheap and whatnot, no, you don't. Use this, man. That's what it's for. Hold off on that. Wait till a time to where things are safer to do, where things are open up for real, for real. A lot of these places you're trying to go to now, they're not even fully open. And if they is fully open, they're not fully staffed and they're not fully occupied because a lot of people, the majority of us, I think, still got our good sense in saying, okay, I don't care if y'all is saying that it's starting to be over. It ain't over. And until it's over for real, I'm not about to do all that. I'm hoping that's the case in Texas because right now, Texas starting middle of next week supposed to open up everything. Everything 100% open, no mask mandate, no nothing. Texas, second largest state in the country. They're trying to open up, and I don't think that's a wise decision right now, people. I do not, especially when you are in a state that large, you have cities that large, where 5 to 8 million people may congregate in a city like a Houston, for instance, and you want to open everything back up and expect everybody just to get back to work, go back to school, and all that other stuff. Like none of this is going on, and the vaccinations in that state is among the worst in the country right now in terms of how many people they actually have vaccinated fully. Do you really think that's a wise decision? Remember what we have learned during the pandemic. One, every time we've had a holiday and people have disregarded the warnings of the people that know better, the doctors, the scientists, and what have you, and decided to do their own thing, spikes in the number of cases, hospitalizations, and deaths have occurred. Go back to Easter, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, all of them, same scenario. They played out every time. The Dr. Fauci's and Dr. Zha go on TV and say, okay, you might want to be careful this holiday and not do it the way you usually do it. Hold off on that. And do you listen? Some of us do. A lot of us don't. And those that don't usually are the ones who end up causing the spreads that take place, okay? Again, I know some of you are thinking, well, it's about to be over. Why can't I just go ahead and spend my money? Think about this. What if it's not over? What if that scenario plays out again, just like I put out there just now, where we go out here thinking it's over, have the Easter holiday and whatnot, and now there's this big spike in the numbers because people have went out all willy-nilly, and now we back and hospitalizations is back up and all that, and there's still not enough people vaccinated and what have you. Then what? Are you just gonna say, well, it didn't happen now, we ain't closing stuff back? Some people say that at this point, they say if you open it back up no matter what. Spring, summer, fall, hell or tail, it's all the same. We're not closing it back no more. Some people are saying, okay, we're going to open it half up and kind of ride it for a minute and see how it goes. That's probably a better way. But most of those places that's doing that are also having a mask mandate, because we know that people wearing the mask has helped to decrease the spread of the virus overall. Does it mean you're not going to get it? No. Does it mean because you are now a superhero? No. Nor does it mean that if you've been fully vaccinated, that you are a superhero in that regard. They still are recommending you wear your mask, because in the end, it helps to ensure that you do not get fully sick from the virus. It does not indeed help to show that you will not get the virus at all. There are not enough studies that indicate that at this time. So the vaccine is meant to be taken to help to ensure that you do not get very sick or sick at all. And then, of course, we have these constant variances every day. And just like as we know from the flu, there are several people every year that take the flu shots, and guess what? They still get the flu. It's not because they're not vaccinated against the flu. It's because they're not vaccinated against those variances of the flu. The strains that we know about, yeah, but these strains are constantly metamorphosing it into something else. So there's always that possibility that that other variant that we didn't know about affects you anyway. Now, hopefully, most of these vaccines will at least make it to where if we get a variant of the virus, it still won't affect us as bad as if we had nothing at all in our system. But in the same token, you have to be knowing that this is still a work in progress. Remember, oftentimes on the show, I've said this is the greatest experiment in the history of man, because it literally is. And billions of people are taking part or choosing not to, whatever the case may be. So we have to be leery about how we proceed. We need to proceed cautiously. Does that mean that you need to be completely, totally scared, be a complete germaphobe and whatnot? If that was to make you comfortable, I understand that. But no, I don't think we have to go that far with it. But we still got to be smart about this thing. We still have to proceed cautiously and understand that there is a possibility that it may not be over to the extent we need it to be, that there may be a need to shut things back down. And I would hope that because we have the administration in place that we do, if they see that as the wise moves to do, that they will take the appropriate measures to do so and not be swayed by deceit. Because in the end, this is the part that really concerns me. What's going to happen in this next 60 to 90 days? If we wise enough about it and we don't go cuckoo mushugana with this money and decide because we got money now, I'm out here, because we got people vaccinated now, I'm out here, and people are not getting seriously sick to that degree, if we get past those 3 months like that, then I think we'll be okay. I think from that point on, we can seriously talk about going back to quote unquote normal. If we deal with it the wrong way and go buck wild and what have you, and suddenly these numbers spike like they did before, and now we right back where we started from, that's not good, y'all. Do y'all really want to go through another year, 2, 3 years of this? I know you don't. I know you don't. Nobody would want that for real. But if we don't be smart about this thing, that is probably going to happen. So what I'm saying is, as you get this money in your possession, keep these things in mind before you spend them. Actually sit down and make a list of the things, at least the large ticket items that you want to buy, and then determine how necessary they are before you go about doing that. I myself am looking to see it like, okay, part of this money I'm not touching. I'm putting it up for emergencies and whatnot. Have we not learned nothing else that we need to have money put up for emergencies? Thank God I had a little bit before this started. Otherwise, I may not have made it through that first month and a half. Thank God I had friends that I could depend on to help out in that regards as well. So those are the things that I want you to think about before you go out here and get this money and go buck wild. The bottom line is, if you're getting $10 and $12 and $50,000 and you don't have major bills and stuff to pay with that money, and you basically blow it on materialistic goods and items instead, and 2 months from now you are completely and totally broke. One, I know we done went through that before. If this is your first time ever getting stimulus and tax money, you might look at it different. But most of us, we done had this money before. This is our third stimulus in this scenario. And of course, if we didn't have tax money, we wouldn't have tax refund money. Why every year we got to do it the same way and end up with the same results? And then we're looking around and we only see like maybe 2 or 3 things that tax money bought. And was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? Consider that. And another thing, and again, because I'm not a parent, I know this comes off as judgmental and you got plenty of nerve, you ain't got no kids. But the whole thing is, most of you getting that big tax money is primarily because you have children, okay? You got children and you can claim them. And keep in mind, the amount of money that you get per dependent this year is going to be increased. So that means you're going to get even more money. If you have not spent a significant amount of money on those children that made that money possible for you, then you are not, I repeat, you are not dealing with that correctly. Miss Pat is saying awesome and so true. And the cars. Let's talk about the cars. Now, here's the thing. If you do not have a vehicle and the type of money that you're getting back allows you the opportunity to purchase one, you might want to do that. I'm just saying. Because in the end, all this money you may spend on getting rolled around or Uber or whatnot, in the long term, if you have your own vehicle, it probably plays more to your advantage. Yeah, there's the repair costs and what have you, but ultimately, the more money you have, the better vehicle you can get. The better your credit score is, the better vehicle you can get. So if you have a decent credit score and you're getting that type of money, you might want to make that an investment. Do you want to spend all your money on the car? Maybe not. I get that. But in the same token, I would rather have a car than not have one. At the moment, don't have one. Would rather have one. But I'm not getting that type of money back that you guys are. But I'm still going to put some of that money aside. So maybe that's what I'll put that money aside for. Who knows? But bottom line is, I'm not about to spend all that money foolishly. In the past, I have. I'm not just telling you this based on, well, I always do it that way. No. I've been the tax baller before. I know what that means. But in the same time, I look back a couple months later, like, why did I spend that money on this, and this? So I'm just giving you my experience in regards to that discussion. That's all. And another thing, before I go, the people who are seeing the Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America 2. Now, whether you like it or don't like it, and I've seen various reports one way or the other, I get that. But here's my thing. One, stop spoiling it for other folks. Stop telling some of the things that went on. That ain't nice. I mean, give it at least a couple weeks for people that have the opportunity to see it before y'all get to go in there. You already got the memes out and everything. Come on now. That ain't cool. And two, if you didn't like the movie, I have to ask, was it because you expected it to be just like the first one or as good as the first one? Because it's one of your favorite movies and it wasn't quite that? Is that why you were disappointed? Because if that's the case, then I guess ain't too much I can say to you then. Some people feel like this is my favorite movie. Don't touch it. Don't add nothing to it. Left it alone like it was. I want to have that memory the way it was. But other people look at it like I did. This is a movie based on the first one. And based on the first one, a lot of stuff happened that was based on the first one. But in the end, in and of itself, the movie was good. The ones that said it had no plot, no one, no. I don't agree with any of that. But I'll probably get into that more so a couple weeks from now when more people have had the opportunity to see the movie. But I myself would recommend see it for yourself. See it for yourself, make your own conclusion. Because I've seen a few of those posts. They're like, I don't know why people said such and such about the movie. I liked it. And that might be you too. So don't take that person's review as, okay, that was it. Check it out for yourself, you know? So anyway, y'all, about to shut it on down. Got some other things to do. Those of you who are available on the Bigo platform, there is a talent show this evening at 6:30 p.m. It is being held by one Aunt Nikki of the show. Aunt Nikki of the show. Let's talk with Aunt Nikki, of course, but also of the show Dish and Tea with Big Meech and the big guy Red Ally. You know him. You know Big Red. Shout out to you, Big Red and Mrs. Red. Anybody else that may be checking this out here or later on this evening. I am now typing in said address to the Bigo in the event that you have Bigo and want to check it out. This is it right here. That is it. You may check it out on that platform and see for yourself what transpires in her talent show this evening at 6:30 p.m. on Bigo. So there's that. Before I go, I also must point out the other members here in the Nighthawk Network, so you guys can check out some of what they got going on. Everybody should be back online this week after taking a little time off. Hey Bitches Live with host Helena Hologram should be back on 9 p.m. For those of you who caught the show last week, she introduced some of her children, the Hologram family, into the mix. You will also have additional members of the family this week to talk to you guys about, in addition to her guests. She does have a special guest for us as well. Looking forward to that. Monumental Moments in God's Word with Dr. Marla Farsi. That comes on Thursday nights here on this fine network. You may also find her on Instagram if you are have access to that. She has been also broadcasting on Instagram. Got to talk to her about that because I would like to do that as well for my show. You know, we got to share our secrets with each other. I'll talk to you soon about it, cuz. We got Dish of Tea with Big Meech, Aunt Nikki, and Big Red. Said What I Said Sunday. That will take place this evening at 9 p.m. or very close thereafter. You will probably catch me on that particular show this evening, along with everybody else, as we have Said What I Said Sundays. You may also want to take participation within that. He will give you the link so you may do so and discuss whatever our discussion is, or discussion of your own, as long as it's respectful and you can keep it short and sweet. He would like that very much. Happy belated birthday to Big Meech. For those of you who do not know, it's his birthday Thursday. He has spent some time enjoying himself. That's why you have not seen the show the last couple of days. I am glad he has taken the time to do so. He's been looking forward to his birthday weekend, and he got it in. I ain't mad at it. Stan Mason Behind the Blue Curtain, another excellent show yesterday in regards to that. I see Brother Love, that is Pastor Sean Love, is checking in. He is giving me his information so I may post his show, and that show is entitled Pastor Sean Love Presents. The latest episode of that, which he has just sent me in the Nighthawk Network, I will be posting for you guys tomorrow morning, because Monday seems to be a good place for you guys to see that. Yeah, responded to that well, so we will start posting that on Mondays from now on. Just so you know, Pastor Love, if you are checking in, we'll be posting your show on Monday. And of course, as we discussed, the Girls of the Girl Stop podcast, that is one Miss Elena Miller, kid that kind of looks like me for obvious reasons, because she's my cousin, and Letitia Williams Howard, her homegirl. And we will talk to them about the show and the things on their mind. Keep in mind, this is their podcast, but not the first one. So I had them talk about how this became that, among other things. So looking forward to having that discussion with them. And of course, I just talked about Aunt Nikki, but let's talk about Aunt Nikki. You'll be able to see that from time to time when she has her interviews and her interview show. And of course, do not forget, this week we'll be having a Get Off My Lawn After Dark edition. We will have that at 10 p.m. Thursday evening. We'll be talking some mature adult topics. So be sure to tune in. It's going to tune in, but keep in mind, one, they are of a mature nature, so please be careful in what you may hear. Viewing discretion and listening discretion is advised. Keep that in mind. So there's that. And also, I'm hoping to have a special guest on that particular edition. Have yet to completely confirm that, but hopefully she will be able to join us so we can have that discussion with her. A fine young lady. I think you will enjoy her very much. Okay. Jojo checking in. What's up, Pimp Daddy? How you doing? I'm good, Jojo. I'm good. Still waiting for you to hit me up, though, Joe. I know you got things going on. I seen your post. I know it has something in regards to that. Hit your boy up later on. Actually, hit me up tomorrow. I'm a little booked up the rest of the day, but hit me up tomorrow so we can discuss. Just want to discuss, my brother. You know how we do. But anyway, about to head up out of here. Hit these internet and all that good stuff. Get my dinner in, all that good stuff. So again, the talent show on Bigo, 6:30 p.m. Aunt Nikki 215. Check it out. Any of you others who have viewed any of my Bigo stuff or are viewing the show here on YouTube, I appreciate you. Thank you very much from that Bigo platform. Thank you for your love and support, particularly those of you who I've talked to today. Shout out to my homegirl Juju and Smooth Nikki and my little sis Ash, and a few of the other people from the Bigo platform, Miss Beauty and Shy Glow. Y'all know who y'all are. Thank you very much for your support these last few days. Very much helpful and appreciated. Yes, definitely, bro. Love you all. Love you too, JoJo. You know I do. So anyway, let's get on up out of here. Thank you guys for checking out the show preview and hearing my thoughts. Thank you for supporting the network and continuing to share and follow and like on the YouTube and the Facebook and all the platforms that are to come. I appreciate you very much. Until next time, people, this is your boy E Beezy. This has been Get Off My Lawn Live. I will see y'all Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. for another edition of the show. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe, be wise. Remember, life is not a Trump rally, and the pandemic is not over. Y'all know what it is. Put it on, wear it right, be as safe as you can. Until then, we is out, 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 out. We out.